We welcome everyone this evening. Wow, what a great prelude. Thanks to Peter and Marietta and Bruce. I think a round of applause. It's just great. We're thrilled that you are here with us. Yeah, David's lighting the altar for us. I hope everyone had as merry a holiday as possible, as merry a Christmas. I hope that the week coming up will be quiet, restful, and healing. We certainly are starting out this week on a healing note. And we do want to welcome Peter and Mary Ada and Bruce. And Catherine is our Zoom director this evening, which is great. Kathy Quackenbush is our other musician. And our tea servers are Kay and Jennifer, and we thank you. We're a small group because everyone is home recuperating, I'm sure, from the holidays. On that note, I would invite everyone to join me in the welcome prayer found in your service sheet. We join our voices together. We bid you welcome, who come with weary spirit seeking rest, who come with troubles that are too much with you, who come hurt and afraid. We bid you welcome, who come with hope in your heart, who come with anticipation in your step, who come proud and joyous. We bid you welcome, who are seekers to a new faith, who come to probe and explore, who come to learn. We bid you welcome, who enter this place as a homecoming. We have found here room for your spirit, who find in this people a family, whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are on your journey, we bid you welcome. I'm going to invite Jennifer to come and light the community candle, and Kathy is going to lead us in the responsive prayer.
Will you join with me in our responsive prayer, blessing our time together? Creator God, we always ask before we thank, for we are asking creatures. We ask for love, and thank you for the love you have inspired in us. We ask to be closer to you, and thank you for our capacity to pray. We ask for your understanding, and thank you for bringing us the light of your presence. We ask for happiness and ask for the joy of life. We ask for strength, and thank you for the courage you have given us to hope. We ask for your presence, and thank you for living in our hearts. We ask, and we have already received. Blessed be your name, O God, our Creator. Amen.
Our reflection this evening is Music is Healing, and I'd like to begin with these thoughts from Hildegard of Bingen, and then this wonderful trio is going to take over and offer our reflection of music. These are her words. Glance at the sun, see the moon and the stars. Gaze at the beauty of Earth's greetings. Now think, what delight God gives to humankind with all these things. All nature is at the disposal of humankind. We are to work with it, for without it, we cannot survive. And certainly that is where we are this evening as we listen to music that we could not survive without. Her last thought, the fire has its flame and praises God. The wind blows the flame and praises God. In the voice, we hear the word which praises God. And the word, when heard, praises God. So all of creation is a song of praise to God. Music is our universal language, and together as we listen this evening, we are healed. music for our soaring spirits and healing energy. At this time in the service, we invite everyone to come and share their prayers with us, their joys, their concerns. Each of you has some pebbles, I believe, at your place. If you don't, we can find some for you. There are 3, and I invite you to come up to one of the vases, and we can have both the vases going at the same time if you wish, and share your prayers, your concerns. There may be joys, there may be concerns. And for those of us who are sitting, we are prayerfully present to those pebbles as they are being dropped into the vase, and we watch the bubbles rise up to the surface just as our prayers rise up in the ethers of this cosmos. And Kathy is going to accompany us in our journey with quiet, soft music. Kathy. I invite all of us Will you join me in the prayer, joining our voices together in these words from Julian of Norwich? All shall be well. All shall be well. All manner of things shall be well. All shall be well. A portion of our offering that's collected this evening is designated for Masterworks, honoring Peter and Mary Ada and Bruce and Kathy for sharing their creative energy with us this evening. We are so thankful, and we are thankful to each and every one of you for your generosity, because without you, Star would not continue to gather together. And I know that at some point we are going to gather in that circle again. It's just going to take a little longer. So I thank you, and the board thanks you for your generosity of your time, your talent, and your treasure. And if you haven't had an opportunity, we have a star by the door, and you can just leave your donation, your contribution, your treasure in that star. Will you join me also in the Taizé chant, which of course we can't sing, but we can say together. Ubi caritas et amor, ubi caritas Deus ibi est. Live in charity and steadfast love. Live in charity, God will dwell with you. I would invite everyone to please stand as we honor the directions.
We evoke and welcome the one who created the sun, the moon, and the stars. This presence, Wankantonka, the wonderful and mysterious one, has created the light and the darkness. This time of year, the darkness brings the unknown, the mystery, and the unpredictable. Just as the winter night darkness falls across our dear mother, another darkness can come upon us individually in our souls. We as individuals face uncertainty, darkness, suffering, fear, betrayal, hurt, disease, water, and the ultimate darkness of death. Our Native American brothers and sisters tell us about the circle of life, that all life is on a circle, and that this circle is a holy and sacred place. Our universe demands that we face this internal darkness, fear, and mystery, just as we face the light, goodness, and beauty. The light and darkness live within this circle, and we will face both in our lives. Deep in our DNA, there is an original blessing of creation that was created by the Holy One 13.5 billion years ago. Darkness lives in the DNA as much as the original blessing. Remember that the goodness of creation lives in us at the very same time the darkness lives in us. This is the reality of our lives. We burn the sage and sweetgrass, which is also a part of original blessing. We receive healing with the smoke and the aroma. This healing touches parts of us that knows that dark and light coexist as a part of being alive. They both live in the same space. The buffalo drum recreates the heartbeat of the goodness of creation, living inside of each of us. The sweet yet haunting notes of the flute are evidence of the relationship between the light and the dark, held together with alchemy of the great mystery. If we will face to the east, the grandmothers and the grandfathers of the East welcome the light every day. Within this light, we grow food and we see birds fly above us. East is the direction from which light comes and is the direction for birth and rebirth. The East is a part of the great circle. Altogether, we befriend darkness by knowing that darkness is a natural and essential occurrence in all parts of our journey. We emerge from the darkness of our mother's womb, and in the same way, from the darkness of the spirit. Let everything happen to us, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. This is how we befriend darkness. A quarter turn to the right, facing towards the south. The grandmothers and the grandfathers of the South tell us that what hurts us blesses us. Darkness is our candle. They ask, are you willing to be sponged out, erased, canceled, made nothing? Are you willing to be made into nothing, dipped into oblivion? If not, we will really never, ever change. Altogether, we befriend the darkness by knowing that darkness is a natural and essential occurrence in the part of our journey. We emerge from darkness of our mother's womb, and in the same way, from the darkness of the spirit. Let everything happen to us, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. How we befriend darkness. A quarter turn to the right, facing to the west. The grandmothers and the grandfathers of the West tell us that suffering is a part of our training. The Great Spirit is treating us as her sons and daughters. She tells us not to be afraid. We are the original blessing of creation. Altogether, we befriend darkness by knowing that darkness is a natural and essential occurrence in part of our journey. We emerge from the darkness of our mother's womb, and in the same way, from the darkness of the spirit. Let everything happen to us, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. This is how we befriend darkness. Quarter turn to the right, facing to the north. The grandmothers and the grandfathers of the North ask us to be courageous when the cold winds of life fall upon us. Let us move through life ready to take what comes from the north. Let us remember that the Great One gives us a gift of a new day. Comfort us and caress us when we are confronting the light and the dark by reminding us that we are the goodness of creation. Altogether, we befriend darkness by knowing that darkness is a natural and essential occurrence in a part of our journey. We emerge from the darkness of our mother's womb, and in the same way from the darkness of the spirit. Let everything happen to us, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. This is how we befriend darkness. Facing to the center space, the grandmothers and the grandfathers of the center space ask us to look around this circle, here, and know that the goodness of creation lives in each one of us. Our circle of life invites all to stand with us. We welcome your vulnerability and also your strength. All together, we befriend darkness by knowing that darkness is a natural and essential occurrence in all parts of our journey. We emerge from the darkness of our mother's womb, and in the same way, the darkness of the Spirit. Let everything happen to us, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. This is how we befriend darkness. Namaste.
You are invited to join in the way of tea, gathering heart and mind and spirit for a meditation on sweet balance. If you would, find a comfortable position in your chair, perhaps with your feet on the floor, spaced slightly apart, your back straight, resting on and supported by the back of your chair, your hands resting just above your knees or together in your lap, one hand resting in the other with your palms open. Then close your eyes. Spend a moment resting in this position, acquainting yourself with the rhythm of your breathing and the vibration of soft background music. Now, if you would, imagine that the basket of sweets is being readied for serving. First, shared between the servers. Then one server begins to move around the circle, stopping in front of each person, inviting each to reach into the basket and select one of the sweets. The server now stands in front of you, holds the basket for you to select your sweet. As you peer inside the basket, you wonder, what will the sweet be this evening? Imagine what it might be. Having made your selection, the server moves on, and for a moment, you are left holding the sweet between your fingers. Imagine how it feels. The sturdy cakiness of a cookie, the soft cushiness of a piece of candy. Then you either take a bite or, if tiny enough, pop it into your mouth. The result is an unleashing of a subtle sweetness or an explosion of delightful decadence, made even more intense as you continue to chew, each bite being more pleasurable than the last. Finally, you swallow, You can feel the sugary concoction slip down your throat and begin to wind its way downward, a slow movement of sweetening, filling nooks and crannies of your body with the sensuality of goodness, leaving you aglow in the honeydew of gentleness and kindness. Settle in this space and spend a bit more time, feeling the sweetness trickle into the center of your being, savoring in your heart and mind and spirit, reflecting on what such goodness means for you.
Continuing in the way of tea, you're now invited to gather heart and mind and spirit for a meditation on bitter balance. Remaining in a comfortable position in your chair with eyes closed, again, spend a moment acquainting yourself with the rhythm of your breathing and the vibration of soft background music. Now, if you would, imagine the tea being prepared and ready for serving. First, shared between the servers. Then both began to move around the circle, stopping in front of each person, offering the tray filled with small glass tea vessels, inviting each to select one. Having made your selection, the server moves on, and for a moment, you're holding the tiny chalice before lifting it to your lips. As you move it toward your lips, you get a whiff of the musky fragrance of the freshly brewed green tea. Imagine that aroma as you breathe in and exhale slowly. Your thoughts shift to wanderings about the brew. How strong is the brew? Is it too warm? Too cool? Then you take a small sip. It is not too warm or too cool, but rigorously strong. Imagine as the liquid rests on your tongue, it is almost as though every taste bud has become hyper alert in violent protest of the pungent flavor, seemingly more intense since the tastiness of the sweet lingers. The bitterness begins its invasion, determined to overcome any of the residual lusciousness. And then you swallow, but the taste has lost much of its harshness. Instead, you experience a nectar flavored with the essence of both sweet and bitter. These two ingredients complementing each other, and when contemplated together, represent a symbol of harmony and balance. Settle in this space and spend a little time letting the harmony and balance wind their way to the center of your being, letting your heart and mind and spirit be refreshed in the letting go of one versus the other, reflecting
on the peacefulness of restful soul. The server again stands in front of you. You place your teacup on the tray. It is empty, but you are not.
Will you join your voices with mine and all together as Kay extinguishes the community candle, and we will share the closing prayer together. And though we extinguish our community candle, we do not extinguish the warmth of community, the spirit of gratitude, the fire of commitment, and our shared compassion during this time together as community. The light of hope, hope for change that brings new blessings into our lives and the lives of those around us, remains and will continue to burn brightly. We carry the light of hope in our hearts until we are together again. Amen. And now our blessing and our sending out. If you all would please stand. Again, joining our voices. Go now in peace. Go now in peace. May the love of God surround us everywhere, everywhere we may go until we meet again. And we're going to be sent out with music. the new year. And don't we all know how we're looking forward to that new year? So we look forward to seeing you on the 10th of January. Thanks to all of our musicians. Go in peace.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.